Hey guys, it is Elle, and I've got with me someone a little creepy. Can you see who that is? Robert Card, the Maine shooter. I thought we would do a reading on him since he's still at large and they haven't found him. So let's see what the cards have to say about him. Is he alive? Isn't he alive? Is he going to be caught? What the heck made him do this crazy thing in the first place? He killed 18 people in Maine. And he's only 40 years old. He's an Army reservist, but one thing that I did learn was that he had been in a mental institution for 2 weeks, just this past summer. So not long ago at all. Probably suffering some serious mental health issues, along with perhaps other issues that we don't know about. Meaning it could be like an addiction or things like that. We just don't know. So I've got his picture up. I'm just going to look at him for a second and ask to be told about Robert Card. I'm just going to ask for a card that represents him right now. Robert Card, a card that represents him right now. Let's see what we get about him. Robert Card. I'll take both of these. I think he's alone. This is my independent lady who is by herself. I think interestingly, all these, the bird is captured. This person's in control, and I think Robert Card right now is in control. We do have the moon card here, and I know they said they found his car, truck, vehicle by a boat dock, and this sort of reminds me of a boat dock a little bit. So we're going to read a little bit more about him. We don't know if he went into the water or what that situation was, but being that I have the moon card and it's anxiety, worry situations, the moon is looking into the water situations, often with the water with the moon. I do feel like he did everything independently from what I'm seeing, and it looks like that on the videos too. We're going to read more. So card representing him right now very well could possibly be in water, but we'll get a little bit more about that. If nothing else, moon stands for a card of anxiety, worries. What you see is not what you get. It's a fight between your domesticated and your kind of wild side. So everybody has impulses inside of us, right? The moon card says sometimes you might run on those impulses, follow those impulses, not be your tame self, but acting completely on your impulses. And I do believe that is the card representing Robert Card perfectly, because the moon is a card of mental health illness also. And I do believe that is what we're dealing with here. So we've got that card right away for a card representing Robert Card. I think it's a very appropriate card. And where is Robert? Let's just ask, where is he? Where is Robert Card right now? Where is he? We are going to ask if he's going to be found too. There's a big manhunt out for him, killed 18 people. Where is Robert Card right now? All right, so we've got Justice. I think that is a card explaining kind of what Robert, sadly, what he thought he was getting. I can read that a different way. It's interesting. We have two major arcanas in that Robert Card may have gotten justice as well, meaning for what happened to the others happened to him. But let's read a little bit more on that clarifier. Tell us a little bit more about what happened with and I think he was seeking justice. In his mind, what I'm getting is that he had all this feeling of, well, real craziness is what I feel. A feeling of almost spinning, a feeling of all this stuff coming at him. I don't know if he was schizophrenic or if he was what this is, but there's a feeling of paranoia. That's exactly what it is. A feeling of paranoia. And what I feel is like he's protecting himself or trying to get the people who are after him. It's a very weird thing in his head, what I feel. So clarify the justice card for where Robert is right now. A justice could also stand for police or that kind of thing. So maybe they have picked him up by now. But last I heard, they had not. Well, this is the secret hidden. So it makes sense. We'd get the high priestess secrets hidden in Robert card and what he's doing. But we also have this Four of Wands. And that is, let me just feel into that card for a second here. Four of Wands is like going home, for lack of a better word. I don't think I think Mr. Robert Carr could go home, but it's almost like going back to family. I would wonder about that. Is there some sort of family something that he might try to go back to? That's where I would look. All right, motive. Let's see. We've already got some information about that. Well, what was Robert Card's motive? Family or friend, something that he knows. So it could even be strangely like a church or a place, a synagogue, a place he was a part of. Where people gather. Motive. Well, that's not good. We don't want him to go anywhere where people gather. Motive for Robert Card. Well, this is the Tower card. So his motive was to maim, kill, destroy. I can't sugarcoat that. That absolutely was his motive. He wanted to cause chaos. He absolutely did. I think he had a lot of chaos in his mind as well that was uncontrolled, and everything in his mind, all that chaos you see outside is exactly what's inside of him as well. He really did want to hurt people, this guy. He's really not well. He's really, really not well. Let's ask, and I'm going to concentrate on this for a second and just pull up his picture again. Robert Card. We're going to pull a card asking if he is alive, walking around in a body, warm, or is he passed on in spirit form as a beautiful spirit, no longer in a human body, but still alive in spirit form. So tell us about Robert Card and his existence right now. Tell us about Robert Card and his existence. Passed on, or is he still alive? Well, we've got the Page of Pentacles, and that to me is not a card that's saying he's passed on yet. That's not what I'm getting. I don't see him passed on yet. In fact, if anything, the Page of Pentacles is kind of making plans. He's holding that pentacle with this idea of what he can do with it. So that's a little worrisome. It's like, I think of this as like the little seed that he's going to put in this tilled up ground back here. It's like, I've got a little money, and then I'm going to plant the seed and make a bunch more money. But in this case, he's, I hope, not planning more harm. Let's ask, is Robert Card planning more harm? Because he was found by the boat dock, but that could, or his car was, but that could have been just a ploy. Is Robert Card planning more harm? I never liked the Knight of Swords. That's somebody rushing in, and these people have been harmed. So that's not good. I don't like this guy's mental state at all. That's somebody harming people. I don't like his mental state at all, Robert Card. Let's ask, is he going to be found? Tell me about Robert Card being found. Tell me about Robert Card being found. Robert Card being found. Well, this is again a familiar situation, and we got that before with that Four of Wands, that he right now was at a familiar place, and we've got this whole Two Cups telling us this is a familiar place, something that, you know, these two are familiar with each other, right? They're helping each other out. Could he possibly be at a friend's house, a family member's house, something of that situation where somebody, you would think nobody would be helping him right now, but maybe if they're not helping him, he's still on their property or in a place that is, maybe they're not there, but he is. I'm going to ask for a little bit more information about where Robert Card is. Tell me about where Robert Card can be found. Where is Robert Card? Tell me about where he can be found. We're getting this information about him being potentially with on a property of someone or something that he knows. And then we have him going off into, this guy has a head injury. Potentially he has a head injury. Going off into, well, didn't they say there's like a lot of woods and stuff? This is kind of going off into the kind of wilderness and extremely on guard. Extremely on guard right now. Going off into the wilderness, extremely on guard. Is there an area there that belongs to, I don't know why, synagogue, church, friend, something he knows of? I'm going to ask for a little bit more information. Anything, closest known landmark. Let's ask for that. Closest known landmark to where Robert is. Robert Card. Closest known landmark. Most people would know this in that area. Closest known landmark. A lot of the time I don't get anything out of these cards because I don't know the area. It means nothing to me. So again, we have the whole Fool of going off into the distance. The Fool is kind of up on a cliff. I don't know if there's elevations there. This person is very depressed, mourning their losses. This is kind of by water a little bit over here, but that doesn't necessarily mean, although being that we did get a little stream in the Eight of Cups, it does make me wonder if he is close to a little stream. Just going to take a second to, I feel like he's hiking, backpacking. On foot. Paranoid. Away into the wilderness. Maybe even going to try to like hitchhike out of there or something. I mean, it's just kind of bizarre that he's not in his right mind at all. Not at all. So it looks like with the cards that he did go off into the wilderness, off into, well, let's just get a water, land, you know, that kind of card. So tell us about what the ground is where he is, what it's like, what is around him. We have cards that stand for all the elements. What is around Robert Card at this moment? Land, and again, we've got that Ten of Pentacles, which is a family land kind of card, or familiar land kind of card. We've gotten that multiple times now, so I would really stress looking on land that is familiar to him, potentially a family's land, if not something he owns, something a family member owns or a friend owns. It really feels like land that he's very familiar with. Very much so. I suppose it could be a park he's very familiar with or something like that too, but we have this very familiar theme throughout this whole thing again and again and again that keeps coming through. And he thinks he's gotten justice on people, which is really bizarre. All right, let me ask again about him being found. Robert Card being found. Tell me about him being found. Tell me about Robert Card being found. This is the Six of Pentacles, a card of giving to others and people like begging um, for help. People begging for help. We have, interestingly, the Justice in this card. The symbols of justice, which are up here, which we already got justice representing this guy too. Him trying to seek justice. This is an interesting card and not the card I usually get for yes, this person will be found. He may be asking for help though, and that may be when he is found. I know that's bizarre. I'm just going to ask for a little clarification on that. A little bit of clarification on this Robert Card situation. Tell me about Robert Card being located, found, turning himself in, whatever that is. Tell me about Robert Card being located and turning himself in. So, this one is, this is a water card. Before we got land cards and him with this idea. This is a water card and there's like, it could go two ways. Making a decision. He's hidden pretty good. Whether he's hidden in the water, I feel like he's hidden on land. I almost feel like the water is a bluff. Let me ask about that. Because it's like there's water and then it's like, but I've got two cards, or two of Pentacles, which is saying, but land, look on the land. So, tell me about Robert Card bluffing that he's in the water and trying to set that up. Tell me about Robert Card bluffing that he's in the water and setting that up. Tell me about that. Here we have again that whole friendship thing. I mean, this is a cup card, so it does deal with water, but I can take the Six of Cups as putting somebody in the water. It has before, but we got this whole protection trying to hold people back. And we had this guy, you know, on alert, trying to like protect himself too. So it feels more like he's alive and hiding on an area that he's familiar with, very familiar with, and trying to like hold everything back and not let anybody around. Let me ask how long it's going to be until he is found, recovered, whatever it's going to be. How long until Robert Card is found? Tell me about how long till he's found. And you can only run for so long. The sun is just making me think like even just a day, one sun and the star, one night, one day, one night. That's kind of what it's, I think it's going to be really soon. I don't think it's going to be long at all. And I'm just going to ask about him being found alive. Because, tell me, Will he be taken alive? Robert Card, will he be taken alive? I don't think it's going to be long at all that he's going to be found. Will Robert Card be taken alive? I think so. The chariot is moving. The Queen of Pentacles is like, seems to be alive. Meaning the pentacle can stand for a body. And it's looking at a body, and that chariot kind of reminds me of him being in a police vehicle and being taken away. So, according to these cards, I feel like he is going to be found alive. There is a possibility his body is found with that pentacle. Could be a body, but meaning not alive. But I didn't get cards that suggested he wasn't alive. Not too much. I'll ask one more time about that because I think my brain is popping in and saying, but this guy should be dead. He should have killed himself. That's what people do in these situations. So tell me a little bit more about Robert Card. Current physical state. Walking around breathing in a body or passed on. To me, it looks like he's going to be found within a day. With a day. Give it a day. Robert Card. Tell me about him being found. His physical state of breathing, walking around as a human or in spirit. I mean, that looks like he's alive. And then I have another page. First time I got Page of Pentacles, this time I have Page of Wands. Page of Wands is like, Page of Pentacles is saying look on the earth. Page of Wands is saying look in the woods. Look on a ground he's familiar with. And it feels like they're going to find him very soon, within a day or so. I don't pretend to understand all of these cards because I got some, I got my Nine of Cups, which is like, that's a water card a lot of the time. And some of these are suggesting close to water or by water, but it does look like he's going to be, when I could see, I mean, it's possible. It could be a body, but I'm kind of leaning towards he's alive. And that, and that he's on land he's really familiar with. Potentially a family member's land, a friend's land, someone he knows' land. That's where I'd look. And he's hiding. He's in hiding. All right, we'll see. Take care, people.